tell us about your. I mean, this is really unique. So,
Okay.
how and why are you doing maps? They're beautiful.
Thanks. The maps are. I started them a while ago, and they were actually inspired by someone else. Originally, it was someone else's idea to do these maps. I just liked all the detail that you can that could be represented. So and this map in particular, the Fraser Valley map, because I was born here in the Fraser Valley and grew up here, just wanted to represent all the different interesting things that we've had throughout our history, like the Fraser Valley Gold Rush. I wanted to pay some tribute to the native population that's here, and of the Stolo Nation that formed this area. And also lots of legends and different interesting aspects of the Fraser Valley. You know, we have so many interesting things here. We have so much rich history of this area, and I wanted to represent that, and not in a technical way so much, but in a sort of an artistic way as well. So it's been done with mostly with watercolor and pen and ink. And then I did an overlay with all the typesetting and that in it as well. So, and what else can I say about it?
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it took a few months of research to figure out everything that I wanted to have in it, to get the right map projection for it, and figure out the cropping which area I wanted to represent, and the accuracy of all the landforms and the lakes and things like that. So and I'm interested in the typography as well, and graphic design. I have a long history as working as a graphic designer in this area, and worked for many printing companies over the years. So I've always been interested in the design element of things as well, not just the artistic aspect. But I guess that's why it's sort of a blend of the technical and the artistic as well.
And you're an actor as well, too, right?
And I'm an actor.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, okay. So I guess as an actor, I thought I would start exploring the sort of a different type of canvas, a live canvas, maybe the stage as a form of moving canvas, maybe, and so I'm really excited about developing, and I'm involved in doing a lot of performance art now, not just the visual and graphic arts, but performing arts too. So for film and television, and for theater. So I've been in a number of plays, and I've been on one episode of Supernatural, the TV series, and yeah, thank you. And
what episode was that?
That was season 8, episode 21. It was called The Great Escapist. And I played a restaurant manager, so I had very few short lines, and I had to come in and explain to the waiter that he was just off his rocker, kind of thing. It's some very short few lines. I've also done a stint on a show called The Untold Stories of the ER, which is a reality-based show about the emergency room in hospitals and things like that. So I was a hematologist on that one, a specialist on that one, a very uptight hematologist who comes in and tells this doctor that he can't perform this procedure unless I do this test first. So the acting side of things is so I've got the art, the graphic design, and the acting.
Quite a unique combination.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying exploring all three, and I'm trying to develop more these three different fields of art and artistic expression, and they each have their really interesting ways where you can really delve deep into a person's character or the mindset, or how detailed you want to get with little interesting elements there might be to be represented on paper, and in the history of where we live as well.
When you go through the process of doing a map like that, do you have to push yourself through, or does it happen naturally, the creative process?
No, in this case, because you have to be technically true. You have to be accurate with what you're representing. So you can't just express yourself. There are a lot more guidelines, more boundaries you have to work within. So you have to do a lot more planning, perhaps, with something like this. So that's a process that takes, for me at least, it takes time. You have to do a lot more research and things like that. Whereas some of the watercolor paintings that I do can just be beautiful representations of a seagull or a tractor that's sitting out in the field. In the early morning as the light breaks, that can be just more of a purely artistic expression that comes from just something right here that just sort of lives, right? Whereas this is more a little more technical, and so this is more leaning towards the graphic design side of things. Because it has to, it's telling a story in a very specific way.
Because you've anchored the logic beautifully in that map.
Oh, well,
right?
thanks.
And then when you do the watercolor,
Yep.
it's more of a free.
Yeah. It's more, watercolor can be more of a, depending on what your subject is. This has far more expectations, and if you're doing like a person, for example, a portrait, and I've done a few, but when you're doing that, that's very specific. So you have to be very careful about how you render that person as well. So you can't if you just do what you feel like and you be very loose with it, you might not work out. And the other side of things that I do is the photography. So I will, at this show, I will have both the sort of the more graphic design sort of element of things, the purely fine arts side of things like the watercolor paintings, and then the photography, which is slightly more technical but still artistic. And so I have a number of pieces that some are abstract and some are very very clear about what they represent.
You're a lethal weapon in the artistic district, aren't you? You can do it all.
Well, I am. Yes, I am. I've got a shotgun approach. Let's say that.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for the interview. I
Great.
really appreciate it.
I appreciate you. I appreciate your interest.